player, Artem Zuba, and ask him to get involved in a foot race. He's not going to win too many of them. Zobnin sends the ball in now from the left-hand side. Looked like it took a slight deflection off Meunier. And corner is the verdict as we approach the hour mark at the St. Petersburg Stadium, where Russia, in front of their own fans, on their own patch, have been beaten 2-0 by one of the tournament favourites in Belgium. I think with most bookmakers, it's only France that are more highly rated to win Euro 2020 than Belgium. Corner sent in by Russia, cleared at the near post, and it's a big clearance as well from Yuri Tielemans. Russia will start again. Shunin's ball forward, up towards Zuba. Brilliant chested effort down to Golovin, but that's given away. It's played into no man's land, and suddenly Belgium can counter-attack. Here is Carrasco. Needs a bit more support. Again, though, Belgium, no real need for them to throw caution to the wind. They're 2-0 up. They should be comfortable. And now Hazard and Tielemans just engaging in a bit of a keep ball session with each other. Tielemans needed to be careful there. Plays it to Dendoncker. Dendoncker through to Carrasco. Carrasco and Dendoncker did really well there, but the ball eventually goes out for a Russia throw. Just wonder how much longer will it be before Roberto Martinez maybe considers making a change, just bolstering that midfield somewhat. Meunier, Lukaku, edge of the box, loses out, cleared forward by Russia. Tongan, Hazard, Mertens, toe pokes the ball in the box, it's headed behind by Ozdoev. Belgium will have a corner. Popped straight up at him, and he felt as though he had to make some sort of telling contribution. He's conceded a corner in the process. A third goal for Belgium would probably end this game as a meaningful contest. Russia would then have to just simply focus on their next two games up against both Finland and Denmark. Corner swung in. No one was really near shooting, but he still chose to punch it away. There's decent distance on it, but you always prefer your goalkeepers to collect the ball rather than punch it. No real noteworthy chances to speak of in this second half. Belgium's best effort in a European Championship was the beaten finalists against West Germany back in 1980. Since then, they've never so much reached a semi-final. Tielemans. Meunier. Lukaku. Every time he gets hold of the ball, Romelu Lukaku, Russia have got men all around him. Ozdoev with the challenge. He gets the ball. May have gone for a Russia throw. Russia are making change number 4 now. Roman Zobnin is coming off. And now it's Maxim Mukin who's come on for him. And Denis Cheryshev, who only came on in that first half, he's been brought off as well. Alexei Miranchuk is on for him. In fairness, Cheryshev not exactly had a good game. I am surprised at that. case of damage limitation almost. But he's not really been on the field that long. He came on for the injured Kuzyav in that first half, and it was around the same point that Castagna was brought off as well. So, in effect, he's only had about 40 minutes of football. Zuba's now down for Russia, rolling around, which would be annoying for Cherchesov if he did pick up an injury, considering that Russia have now made all of their substitutions. Long ball swept forward up towards the standing left back, Vyacheslav Karavayev. It's not been a good evening so far for Cherchesov and for Russia. Russia staring down the barrel already, 2-0 down against Belgium. Remember, of course, 6 groups in the new 24-team Euro format, which was first played out 5 years ago in 2016. Top 2 from each group get through automatically, and then 4 of the 6 third-place teams will go through as well. Russia might be looking at that as their option to get through to the last 16. That they'll have probably been quite unpleasantly surprised by the fact that Finland defeated Denmark. Finland in their first major tournament. Russia may have looked at them and thought, if we can get above them, then we've got a chance. But now Finland have got that nice 3-point cushion. Boyata, now Alderweireld. Golovin closing down. .66 on the clock. Belgium 2, Russia 0. Looking with the challenge on Lukaku. Even though he scored, Romelu Lukaku, he's looking a little bit frustrated, a little bit wound up. It's not been made easy for him this game. Very composed play there from Vertonghen. Just took the ball away from Golovin, right on the edge of his own box. Through ball now to Carrasco. Carrasco is fairly quick. He's not that quick though that he can chase his own ball that he played forward. Fernandez. Up towards Juba. Offside flag goes up against the big man. Boyata. Now for Tongan. Here is Hazard. Boyata. Tielemans. Belgium fully in control. Here's Hazard. You get the sense though that they're keen to get a third goal. Might not look it right now, the way that they're just caressing the ball around the back. Russia making life awkward. Tielemans up to Lukaku again. It's a poor touch. Russia have given the ball away, although the free kick now goes their way. Midway through the second half of this Euro 2020 game between Belgium and Russia, still 2-0 to Belgium. And in all honesty, this second half has been a total non-event. Russia may look a bit more up for it, they may have a bit more energy about them, but there's just that lack of quality when it matters. Belgium are fully in control of this game, although they're not looking too ambitious themselves. Russia have now made all 5 of their substitutions. They've brought on Maxim Mukin in place of Roman Zobnin, and then a bit of a surprise as well. Denis Cheryshev, who only came on midway through the first half, has been replaced by Alexander Miranchuk. No obvious injury problem there, it just seems to be tactical, and that probably sums up Russia's evening. It's Belgium 2, Russia 0. Miranchuk there with the challenge on Alderweireld. Goes for a Belgian throw-in, which Boyata now receives. Here is Hazard, who's looked at home in that role at left wing back, if you like. Left wing back, left midfield, depending on how you describe it. Very much a 3-4-3 formation that Martinez is adopting. Zuba offside again. Tielemans. Bit of FA Cup final magic night, and still something left in this game. Just looking at the bottom of my screen though, it looks as though Eden Hazard has been given the call. The distinctive number 10 on the back of the red Belgian shirt. He's going to get 20 minutes at the end of this game to show his magic. It's magic that has been missing for 2 years now. A 9-figure fee took a nightmare move in many respects. He's only played 30 times in La Liga across 2 seasons. Injuries have contributed to a lack of form. Ball is prodded out of play now to allow this change to occur. Looks as though there might be an injury problem, the way that the ball was just played out. Not too sure what's happened here. Well, Dries Mertens is the man that's been withdrawn. There's a problem for Vertonghen by the looks. He's just gone down to ground right by the touchline on the near side. He's sat up. It may have been his ankle. He's helped up to his feet now. It looks as though as he went to clear the ball, Zuba came across and Vertonghen has almost kicked the ground and twisted his ankle ever so slightly. Perhaps a bit of a painful one to take. That's not going to change the substitution that's just been made though. Eden Hazard on for Dries Mertens, so a couple of Hazards on the field for Belgium, potentially hazardous for Russia. Vertonghen be able to carry on. And he's coming back on the field by the looks of things. They've got an able deputy in Thomas Vermaelen who can play as the left-sided centre-back. Has played extensively at left-back as well in his Belgian career. They're going to give him a chance, but Vermaelen is on that touchline now, ready and willing to come on. I think at this stage of the game, Belgium might not want to take too many risks going forward. The game, to all intents and purposes, is won. 17 minutes to go, and you can't really see Russia getting back into this. The flames look to have been extinguished now. A Russia team that's dropped to the ground like flies. 5 substitutions made, all prior to 65 minutes on the clock. Hazard. The Tongan. Some concern over him, but he appears to be moving better now. Tielemans. Now Eden Hazard. All swept over to the far side now for Meunier. Suddenly space is opening up. Meunier through to Carrasco. He runs into trouble. Russia clear, only for a throw. 10 yards into the Russia half on the far side. Tongan. No imminent sign of Vermaelen coming on, so it looks as though the Tongan will be okay. Tielemans bursting forward. Free kick Belgium. Brought down by Ozdoev. The Tongan. Well, Vermaelen still on that touchline. The Tongan ambling forward. Just caught out slightly by Zuber. But again, Russia have had a problem of giving the ball away. That's a great challenge though in midfield on Hazard. Golovin. Karaveev on the far side. Belgium get back into their shape quickly. A back three that turns into a back five. And they're on the back foot. Fernandez now. Ozdoev. Russia coming forward. It's a good run into the box and well challenged there by Boyata. Now played forward. Carrasco looks like he's got the better there. Well, he did momentarily, but Jakir with a wonderful challenge. 15 minutes to go. Belgium 2, Russia 0. Barely been a chance in the second half. Game has been punctuated somewhat by substitutions. A great challenge there by Jakir and Carrasco. Promising slalom into the box as well. It was Miranchuk who was stopped. That change is finally going to happen now for Belgium. The Tongan, it's been decided, should not risk carrying on. He'll be replaced by someone just as experienced. Thomas Vermaelen, a former Tottenham player coming off and a former Arsenal player replacing him. And Belgium are going to use this chance as well to make another substitution so that they can have all five. There is going to be another one after this. Dennis Pratt is coming on for Carrasco, so a slightly more conservative substitution. And the three Leicester players to take to the field in a Belgium shirt. Of course, Timothy Castagna hasn't made the full 90. He was brought off midway through that first half after it looked like a bit of a nasty clash of heads between himself Vermaelen. Hazard. Lovely work from Eden Hazard. He's then brought down. That's what he was so good at in his days at Chelsea in the Premier League. Just one quick change of direction. Could draw free kicks from pretty much everywhere. Belgium have had 61% possession in this game. Only 3 efforts on target. Vermaelen. Two brothers looking to combine. Here is Torgan Hazard. Now Eden. Back towards Torgan. Has he kept that ball in play? He hasn't. He was brought to Chelsea as a youngster, Torgan Hazard, when Eden had been there a couple of years. Never made it like his brother did, but he's gone on to have a very good career himself. That's really poor from Russia, giving the ball away at the throw-in. Tielemans over to Pratt. Here is Lukaku, edge of the box. Now Pratt. Alderweireld being forced backwards by Golovin. Now Boyata. Forward once more by Alderweireld. Header from Pratt doesn't find a colleague. Forward now by Jakia. Russia need to get a move on if they're to get something from this game. It would be an unlikely comeback at this stage. Looks unlikely though. Ball just rolling in its own half. Possession given away again, although Miranchuk has won a free kick. Tielemans with a slightly late lunge. 10 minutes to go. It's still Belgium 2. Though another couple of substitutions. The only real concern from Roberto Martinez's point of view is injuries. Castagna was brought off in the first half, and they've had to substitute Jan Vertonghen as well. It looked as though he may have tweaked his ankle slightly under a challenge from Artem Zuba. Thomas Vermaelen has replaced him. Eden Hazard is on as well in place of Dries Mertens, while Dennis Pratt has come on for Yannick Carrasco. It's Belgium 2, Russia 0. Writing looked to be on the wall for Russia on the 10-minute mark when Lukaku stuck Belgium in front. Slight gap in play at the moment. 9 minutes to go. Throw in isn't collected by Lukaku. He's got his goal. He can't complain too much, but not really been his best performance. Although there are extenuating circumstances. Of course, a club teammate of Christian Eriksen. His mind will probably be on his mate as well as this game. Meunier sends the ball in. Belgium look to attack quickly. And it's cleared at source. Round the corner there from Pratt. Cleared by Jakir. Boyata now. Midway inside their own half, Belgium. Here is Torgan Hazard on the near side. Vermaelen slotting in that left-sided centre-back role. Back with Courtois. Forward to Alderweireld. That's a heavy touch in midfield, but Russia aren't in a punishing mood, it seems. Muckin made the challenge, but it's gone down. It's a bit loose by Dendoncker. Not a great challenge either from the Wolves midfielder. Studs were slightly up, so Russia do have a free kick. It's over on the far side. It's going to be swung in left-footed. Miranchuk to take. And he came on midway inside this second half. Semenov to aim for, as well as Bevev and Jakir. Yaranchuk's ball doesn't beat the first man, and that's what winds up a lot of coaches. Drop for Golovin on this near side. Golovin sends the ball in, and that was very nearly an own goal. Boyata just swung his leg out. He'll have been mightily relieved to see that just whistle past the near post. Courtois was rooted to his spot. Well, that's going down as a chance. Cedric Boyata with a near own goal. A goal here, and it would set up a real grandstand finish to what's been a pretty turgid second half. Ball up to Zuber, being penalised though for a handball. Not been his night. He's displayed his strengths. There's no, just needed a bit more support and a real nitty gritty. All the damage, it seems, was done in the first half. Belgium 2 goals up against Russia. Swept forward by Semenov. Flicked on by... Whenever there's been a second ball, it's Belgium who've usually been first to it. Just that extra bit of pace, that extra bit of athleticism in their side. Hazard. Through to Eden Hazard. Here is Eden now. He just holds the ball up. Vermaelen. Russian players are getting furious instructions from their coach, Stanislav Cherchesov. Won't be too happy with what he's seen from his side as Dendoncker rolls it forward to Pratt. And this is what Belgium are hoping to do, just try and kill minutes to go. That's not by a third goal, it's by keeping the ball, making Russia do all the chasing. Tielemans. Gets it back from Torgan Hazard. Boyata. Lay football coming from Belgium. Just as I say that, they've given it away, but Russia in a rush to go forward. He's presented the ball straight back to the Red Devils. Meunier driving through the middle now. And that's a really good looking ball through to Lukaku. And Belgium have made it 3. Well, there's not been too much to discuss in this second half, but that's a really brilliantly, clinically worked goal. Thomas Meunier through to Romelu Lukaku. Meunier could be a contender for man of the match, even though he only came on midway through the first half. running through the middle. His through ball took 3 Russia players out of the game, and Lukaku barely needed to look up. He just swept that ball past Anton Shunin to make it Belgium 3, Russia 0. Belgium have got a 3rd goal to get the cherry on top of the cake against Russia, and it's Romelu Lukaku who's got his 2nd. It's been a really lacklustre second half. There's been virtually nothing to discuss, but just now a moment of real class. It was Thomas Meunier who drove with the ball through the midfield. He then played a inch perfect through ball to Lukaku. It took 3 Russia players out of the game. Lukaku got the right side of the defender and just side-footed it home, right-footed, to make it Belgium 3, Russia 0. Probably a fair reflection on the game. Russia might feel slightly hard done to. Belgium have hit the target when it's mattered, and that's all you can ask of them. Even if Timothy Castagne is fit for the next game, he might have a job on his hands to get back into the side. Meunier really laid down a marker. Russia have got a free kick right on the edge of the area. Boyata with a slight kick there on Magomed Ozdoev. 4-man wall is the command from Thibaut Courtois. We're just about to tick over the 90-minute mark and see how much time is allocated at the end of this game by the 4th official. It is pretty much on the whitewash, this free kick. It suits the left footer more. It's slightly out wide. Only 2 minutes have been added on. It's a slightly acute angle. Miranchuk looks as though he's going to be the one to take. Might provide the surprise. Miranchuk takes. It's over the bar. And it's been over in reality for some time now for Russia. Mario Fernandez header on 13 minutes. If that had gone in, should have had a much different game. But since then, not enough quality has been on show. Here is Meunier. Plenty of quality from him. Might be a right back, but he anticipated the 2nd goal for Belgium really well. Shunin dropped the cross from Torgan Hazard. He was there to side foot home. And what has been a strange game at St. Petersburg. The thoughts of Christian Eriksen, I'm sure, will have been rippling through many of the minds of the players. Hopefully the worst is over with regards to that terrible incident. But just looking solely at this game, Belgium have got their Euros campaign off to the perfect start, as the referee does blow the whistle for full time. 2 goals for Romelu Lukaku and 1 for Thomas Meunier, as Belgium, the #1 ranked side in the world, have proved far too strong for Russia on the evening. Celebrations are looking quite muted. Not too many smiles on the faces of the Belgian players. But they had a job to do, and they've done it with the utmost professionalism. It's finished in St. Petersburg. Belgium 3, Russia 0.